hasn't been canceled yet. You gotta have a backup plan ready just in case, because more cancellations are already piling up in the days ahead.
And tonight, the airline CEO was offering a personal apology. Matt Doherty has that, along with answers to some of the most commonly asked questions from stranded passengers at Hobby Airport. Matt.
Yeah, more than 200 flights were canceled here at Hobby Airport in the last 24 hours. Unfortunately, more than 60% of Southwest flights across the country have already been canceled for tomorrow. You might have expected to see more stranded passengers at the Pappas Barbecue inside Hobby Airport tonight. Unfortunately, they saw so many travelers earlier in the day, the restaurant sold out of brisket hours ago. Stranded passengers continued to flock to the Southwest Airlines ticket counters. Others waited outside Southwest's lost and found in baggage claim for their chance to speak with a representative about their missing luggage. The Southwest Airlines CEO Bob Jordan released a video statement tonight. It does not sound like there will be an immediate end to this travel crisis.
Our plan for the next few days is to fly a reduced schedule and reposition our people and planes, and we're making headway, and we're optimistic to be back on track before next week.
The Department of Transportation Secretary says every U.S. airline is back to normal travel tonight, all of them except for one.
We also clearly see a system issue there that is their responsibility as an airline to manage, and that we're going to be looking into to ensure that every federal standard is met. Because what we're seeing right now, from the system and the flights themselves to the inability to reach anybody on a customer service phone line, it is just completely unacceptable.
Here are some of the common questions and answers about canceled flights provided by the Department of Transportation. If a flight is canceled, is the airline required to book a passenger on another airline's flight? No, they are not. It doesn't hurt to ask, but airlines are not required to do this. If a flight is canceled, is the airline required to provide passengers with a hotel room, food vouchers, cab fares, or other reimbursements not related to the flight? No, they are not. They will sometimes do this, but they are not required to provide non-flight related reimbursements. If a flight is canceled, is an airline required to reimburse expenses if passengers miss their cruise, honeymoon, wedding, concert, or other activity? No, airlines are not required to reimburse passengers for any trip costs affected by the canceled flight, such as prepaid hotel rooms or even lost wages. It is not clear when Southwest's flights will be back on track. CBS's travel correspondent is recommending anyone with a flight from now until January 2nd have a travel backup plan. Rika?
Wow. All right. Well, a lot of helpful information there. Thank you so much, Matt.
Reverend Eagle comes in with, man, hopefully you ain't mad. Just hit you with a brief one.
Cruise with Norwegian and enjoy free unlimited open bar, free special.
In the cold, thousands more intense, waiting to cross, desperate for food and warmth. Coming clean, incoming Congressman George Santos, who lied on his resume. Will he face consequences when he gets to Washington? Inside the fight against medical misinformation and children, what you need to know. And riding it out, the stories of strangers surviving a historic snowstorm and finding time to help while trying to stay warm. It's Inspiring America.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
And good evening, I'm Tom Llamas, in for Lester tonight. After that holiday deep freeze and deadly historic snowstorm that's still affecting so many Americans, it's an airline meltdown that leads our news this evening. Southwest Airlines, again, canceling thousands of flights today, far more than any other carrier. Tens of thousands of passengers stranded, the Transportation Department and Southwest itself calling it unacceptable. The airline has already canceled thousands more flights tomorrow and Thursday. What is supposed to be a relatively quiet holiday week has instead become a chaotic transportation mess with mountains of unclaimed luggage piling up. In a moment, I'll discuss what's behind it all and the financial compensation Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg tells me should be coming to some travelers. But we begin tonight with Blaine Alexander on the travel nightmare after Christmas.
At airport, after after airport.
Now I know why there's a line. My flight was canceled.
This is the picture of an unprecedented travel nightmare.
I've been here at the airport all day.
With thousands of flights canceled again today, more than 80% of them are due to just one airline. While major carriers like Delta, JetBlue, and American together had fewer than 200 cancellations today, Southwest had to cancel more than 2,600 flights.
Look at this mess. Everybody over here is pissed. I went to other airlines and everybody's booked up. Everybody's booked. I can't get out.
Southwest CEO releasing this statement tonight.
We're doing everything we can to return to a normal operation. And please also hear that I'm truly sorry. Large numbers of scheduled flights simultaneously froze as record bitter cold brought challenges for all airlines.
But the Department of Transportation says it's concerned about what it calls an unacceptable rate of cancellations and is looking into whether those disruptions were within the airline's control. Southwest also acknowledged the situation as unacceptable. The airline took the worst hit in part because winter weather impacted two major hubs in Chicago and Denver. But the Southwest Flight Attendants Union points to the airline using out-of-date technology to schedule crews.
We've had flight attendants waiting on hold for 17 hours to get in touch with crew scheduling, and it's just deplorable.
One ripple effect compounding the chaos, baggage piling up. NBC's Emily Aketa is at Chicago's Midway.
Travelers who do manage to catch a Southwest flight are greeted by yet another challenge upon arrival of epic proportions, sifting through this sea of luggage here at Midway to maybe find their bag.
We've been in line for 2 hours. Ricky's checking all the other flights.
Ricky and Emily Jimenez started their journey yesterday, trying to get home to Las Vegas and to their 2-year-old son. After waiting 4 hours at New York's LaGuardia Airport,
Some lady walked through that was with Southwest and said, "Hey, we have 19 tickets to get to Atlanta on a bus. Anybody want to go on a bus ride?" We just ordered a 13-hour bus ride to get to Atlanta.
they hopped on, hoping for better flight options in a different city, only to find another line and another frustrating wait.
Everybody else in the same situation, so I mean, we're not special. We're just trying to get home.
All right, Blaine Alexander joins us live tonight from Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport there in Atlanta. And Blaine, the big question tonight, how long will passengers be stranded?
Well, Tom, the airline says that it will likely take
in effect tonight in Buffalo, where that massive snowstorm is being blamed for dozens of deaths in the region. President Biden declaring a state of emergency in western New York. Jesse Kirsch is there tonight. In parts of blizzard-stricken Buffalo, tonight there's too much snow to plow, and officials are begging for cooperation from residents.
Please, please, please do not drive in the city of Buffalo.
People walking the streets with sidewalks submerged days after the deadliest storm in the city's history. Now more than 30 dead in western New York. Among them, Andell Taylor, her sisters say.
She was one of the best sisters, daughters, friends, aunts you've ever had.
Taylor's sisters say she pulled over on her drive home from work Friday with the storm bearing down. They say Taylor took these videos in her final hours, calling 911 for help that didn't make it in time. A resident finding her dead the day before Christmas.
We all feel like the city failed her. Like, we feel like the emergency system should have went a little harder for everybody, to be honest.
I would say that my heart goes out to that grieving family. In those conditions, it was very hard for emergency first responders.
As more snow fell today, some digging out well beyond their driveways.
This is the most extreme snowfall I've ever seen in my life.
Some in Buffalo whisked to safety on the back of snowmobiles.
Even as Buffalo's road conditions begin to improve, we're still seeing scenes like this. A car abandoned in the middle of the street.